I mentor quiet people on overcoming social anxiety and playing to their natural strengths in life. So imagine what you could achieve if your own mind would only quieten down and allow you to focus on what's really important to you in your life. If you could win the battle of you versus your own fear and anxiety every single day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, imagine where you would be. One of the problems of being a human is that we have big brains, meaning that fear and anxiety can stop us from enjoying life. The function of fear is to keep you safe. So it doesn't care about your happiness, your mental health, only about survival. So this means that the voice of fear is going to try and talk you out. It's going to try to persuade you out of any situation where there's a potential danger, where the voice, where your subconscious perceives potential danger. A problem with this is that it's highly irrational, and often the fears are actually rooted in childhood and would no longer pose a threat to our adult self. But we still hold on to them and live a life trying to avoid facing fears. Most people that I've coached, and myself, find that the voice of fear and anxiety, the inner demons, imposter syndrome, the inner critic, inner bully, you know what I'm talking about. This voice tends to be most active in the morning. And if you allow it to run riot, you feed the voice and it becomes louder and louder and louder and gathers momentum. It can suck you into negative vortexes where you'll find yourself feeling sorry for yourself, dwelling on the past, feeling sad, getting yourself worked up and angry, unpleasant emotional states to be in. If you stop the momentum of the voice of fear and anxiety, you're going to experience a lot more peace and a lot more joy in your day-to-day life. So for this reason, I meditate every single morning. So I wake up, I make myself a black coffee because I do intermittent fasting. And then once I'm ready, I spend a full hour meditating. This does wonders for my mental health. It allows me to feel so much calmer, so much more focused in the day. Also, it prevents procrastination as well. And I think the best way to live each day is being present for every single different activity, and also switching off when you've finished the work you have intended to finish on a particular day. And this is the value of meditation. So I like mindfulness meditation, which is where you focus on sensations in your body, the breath, sounds, sense of touch, anything that's happening in real time in the present moment. So you're anchored in the present moment, and you're training yourself not to get pulled away by the voice of anxiety. You still allow the thoughts to come and go, but you don't get sucked in and start to feed these different thoughts. And this allows you to remain present. And studies have shown that people that, when you consistently practice mindfulness, there's changes in your brain. So the amygdala shrinks, and this is associated with worry and anxiety. So if you can keep up the habit of meditating on a regular basis, doing mindfulness, you're going to restructure your brain in such a way where you experience less worry and stress than you would otherwise. So I like to do mindfulness meditation. For example, I search Headspace on YouTube, the Mindful Movement, several other channels as well, and they're guided meditations where you tend to scan your body, be present, follow the breath, etc. I also do other kinds of meditation known as shadow work, which I can cover in a different video because that's a massive topic in itself. And this is about reconnecting to parts of yourself that you've disowned, bringing presence to this. And all of these meditations, they also help you to process unresolved emotions. Unresolved emotions don't just magically go away by themselves. They're stored within your muscle, within your tissue, and they cause pain. You might get a tension headache. You might experience chronic fatigue. So many unpleasant bodily symptoms, hyperventilation, panic attacks. So rather than suffer in silence, you want to process and release the baggage that these emotions carry with them. And when you relax the muscle, the tissue, through these meditations, you're actually allowing the emotion to come to the surface where you can feel it and therefore release it from your body. So that's another reason for meditating each day, so that you don't get a build-up of unprocessed emotions which would otherwise cause painful symptoms. So meditating at the start of each day really sets the tone for the entire day. More at peace, more focused. And you also have a clearer mindset, clearer perspective. You have more space, more headspace. You're able to actually appreciate the here and now, notice and experience the moments of joy which you would otherwise miss. And you get to let go from negative narratives that would otherwise drag you down. Narratives of self-doubt, self-limiting beliefs, narratives that you're not good enough. You have a chance to let go and not feed these narratives, which cause a person to shrink. We all have two narratives. One narrative that you're already enough, just as you are right now, and the second narrative that you're not enough. You want to feed the narrative that you're already enough and starve the narrative that you're not enough to help you grow in confidence and feel secure in your own skin. Comfortable being yourself, in other words, higher self-esteem. So when you meditate at the start of the day, you gain a greater awareness of your own mental activity. And this allows you to stop feeding the negative narratives that come up. And you also notice your triggers better as well. You learn to identify them. Certain situations that trigger an emotional response, trigger fear, trigger adrenaline, and cause these narratives to get louder. Something that I experienced quite a bit last year, not so much this year. Whenever I was doing something that I found scary, the voice of fear would get louder, and certain narratives would get louder as well. This was when I was doing live events, for example. I'd get this fear, and it would trigger the negative narratives. When you meditate more, you get to notice this process and become more aware of it, even if it's less extreme. You notice it on a smaller scale. It doesn't need to be so loud. It doesn't need to shout to get your attention. You can hear it if it only whispers. All the emotions in your body, the sensations, they're there for a reason. It's giving you a message. Your body is speaking to you. And when you listen to that message, you don't ignore it, you feel a lot better. Because in that moment, you're not abandoning yourself. When you decide that how you're feeling is not good enough and you mask it, maybe you drink, you smoke, you stuff it down, you sleep, eat unhealthy, whatever coping strategy, self-medication that you use, you're basically attacking yourself in that moment. And you're saying that you're not good enough as you are. But my question is, would you treat a good friend like that? If you had a good friend that was going through anger, jealousy, sadness, negative emotions, would you want your friend to lock themselves away and not interact with other people? Or would you tell them that they're enough as they are? Just be yourself and don't worry about it. So often we're harsh on ourselves, punish ourselves, and we haven't learned to treat ourselves in the same way we treat a good friend. And meditation is a tool to give you that insight into the workings of your own mind and see what's going on. You get to be a curious observer. You get to learn what makes you tick, what triggers you. And you also learn how to remain calm and not take on unnecessary pressure. So meditation is one of the best tools for anxiety. One of my favorites on YouTube is a meditation by a channel called The Honest Guys. And it's for people that suffer with PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks, etc. And it's a simple meditation where there's some mindfulness, some belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing as it's called, positive affirmations, and it just puts people in a positive state for the day ahead of them. And that's important too, because I was saying earlier that the voice of fear, your own fear, its primary objective is to keep you alive. It doesn't care for your happiness or your mental health. So this means that you have to train yourself to be positive and enjoy life. This is something that I've learned over the years, got better at. It's a bit like a martial art. And I never would have thought years ago I'd be saying that happiness is a martial art. But this is pretty much my current view. And when you stop feeding that fear and anxiety, you can set yourself up to have lots of days filled with joy, filled with happiness, You're able to experience your good emotions because you're not cut off from them. You're not a robot that's detached from their emotions and views conversations as an information exchange that's purely logical. You've learned to express your emotions, to talk with emotions, to actually connect with other human beings rather than just plain pretend. This helped out me massively when I realized that I'm supposed to talk with emotions. I'm supposed to actually be myself, not hide, and really connect with people honestly and authentically. When you realize this and you stop pretending to be something you're not, you'll be so much happier and experience much more connection in life. On this same topic, something else that I've learned, and this is from me receiving coaching and mentorship, something that I realized is that of course you can always have happiness. You can be happy a lot of the time, but not all the time. You will go through tough and challenging times, no matter how much you work on yourself and how much you grow. But the good news is you can always have connection. So even in moments that feel more difficult, where you might not be experiencing happiness, you can have connection in those moments. So learning to connect to yourself through meditation and connect to others. This is going to help you out in the more challenging times and also allow you to enjoy the good times to a greater degree. And this is something that has really helped out people I've coached, connecting to their emotions, talking with emotions, processing what they need to process, helps people feel a lot lighter. And it's one of the reasons why I put on a free coffee social every single month. And I've done either 31 or 32 so far. I can't remember whether it's 31 or 32 at the moment. Helps people get past their own ego, their own issues, their own barriers, and really connect with somebody else. And in a way, this is what meditation does. It stops you getting sucked into all these narratives and ideas which are often completely not true. And therefore, it puts you in the present moment, in touch with yourself, where you're in a space where you're less held back and you're more free to connect with other people. Imagine a computer with loads of tabs open. If a computer has loads of tabs open, it starts to work a lot slower. It's a lot less effective. When you meditate, you start to close down tabs in the background that are not useful and not needed. This means that you function better, like a computer with just one tab open. And it also means that you have more mental RAM and focus available to use at each moment of your day. In other words, you have greater access to your full range of natural talents. So if I'm coaching somebody that has anxiety, I always encourage them to meditate, especially at the start of the day. I also encourage them to do regular exercise, especially cardio. After I've done my morning meditation and I do some reading to educate myself, I then go for a run and do strength training at the gym. The running makes a massive difference, especially if you have social anxiety. The running is going to give you a buzz of endorphins, making you feel better. It wakes you up much better than caffeine, and it puts you in a more confident mood for socializing. And when you combine the two, meditation plus running, it's a powerful combination, and it really works wonders for supporting you in developing confidence, communicating with people. Whatever you're working on, whether it's working on your boundaries around toxic people, whether it's being better at starting conversations, feeling more secure in social groups, not getting angry, remaining calm around challenging people. Whatever it is you're working on socially, you want to have pillars holding you up and supporting you. And meditation and running are two pillars that you can truly rely on. They keep you motivated, hold you accountable. And if you don't know already, motivation doesn't come before taking action, it comes after taking action. It's the other way around. So when you've meditated and then gone for a run, you then get a rush of motivation. But guess what? You're also calm. So you're calm and motivated at the same time. This means that you have energy to get things done, but you're not going to overexert yourself, overextend and burn out. And you're also able to switch off at the end of the day. This is something that I've worked on and got a lot better at. Something that I struggled with last year when I was coaching. I got to a stage where I was giving value, helping people. They were happy and I was happy, but I struggled to switch off from coaching sessions in the evening when I was just chilling and relaxing. But now I'm more capable of doing this, thanks to morning meditation. And on this same topic and theme, being organized does wonders for tackling anxiety. I've gone to the extreme of I've organized my room so that in my wardrobe, which you can probably see if I turn my phone around. So in my wardrobe, I've organized it in thirds. So the third on the left is sportswear, because after meditating, I do my gym session, my run as well. In the middle, it's basically business attire, shirts, suits, etc. And then the right third is leisure clothes. So I've even organized my wardrobe so I can get changed throughout the day, put a suit on for different modes that I'm in. Even superheroes use suits to get themselves, as well as to disguise themselves, to get themselves into the right mode for action taking. Superman always, Clark Kent always goes in the phone booth before putting the cape on and coming out as Superman. So superheroes wear suits, and there's something about how you dress. There's something in it that makes a big difference to how you feel and the mode that you're in. And simply splitting up your day into exercise, work, and leisure makes a big difference. Having those 3 different modes of existence and different clothes for each mode, it's a nice way to practice switching from one mode to another, to not be stressing about work when you're in your leisure time. You don't want to be on a holiday that you've spent a lot of money on a beach, trying to relax and enjoy yourself, but your mind is stressing about work. So organization really helps. And this goes hand in hand with having a routine that looks after your mental health and promotes your growth in self-confidence over time. A routine where you're meditating, exercising, keeping yourself organized, and making progress. One of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream now. So occasionally I have a coaching session and it's a no-show. The person doesn't turn up. Happens from time to time. So when that's the case, I do the live streams, a chance to practice speaking, share value, help people out, inspire, encourage, support, etc. So I do 30 minutes over Instagram Live and 30 minutes on YouTube as well, which is why I jumped on right now. And yeah, it's nice to be organized. It means that you work when it's important to work. You also switch off when it's important to switch off, and there's clarity in your mind. So if you're interested in coming to one of my live events, or you want to try my free first coaching session, drop me an email, philmorrison678@gmail.com, and I'll be in touch. I can send you a link to book yourself on the event. The next one is at 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 30th of June. And I've currently got 25 people going and 20 on a waiting list, which is great. And in terms of the coaching, so my going rate is £100 an hour, or £200 for a 2-hour session. But I offer the first session completely free of charge. Part of the reason for this is it's a gesture of goodwill. I know that not everybody can afford to spend money on coaching, so it's a way to help out people that don't have the money. It's also a way for you to try my coaching and experience it before deciding whether or not you want to do more sessions. And it also protects me from working with the wrong clients. I only take on people who I'm confident I can help out, people with good ethics that are going to turn up on time, not mess me about, not waste time, etc. Good attitude. So it protects me as well as protecting you. If this interests you, my email is philmorrison678@gmail.com, and it's Phil with one L and Morrison spelled like the shop. So drop me an email and I'll be in touch. Really enjoyed this live stream. It's a really nice, sunny, peaceful day at the moment, and I've pretty much done all the tasks that I intended to do today. I've got coaching sessions tomorrow and Friday, a bunch of others coming up as well, so I'm excited about that. And since my event attendance is growing, next month I'm going to find a bigger venue that can hold 50 people rather than 25 people, and keep on going with it, helping people to connect, feel uplifted, listen to, valued, all the right seeds to grow true self-confidence and security. I also do group activities to help people push their social comfort zone and get more confident interacting with one another. So yeah, the summary is, if you struggle with anxiety, try meditating at the start of each day, mindfulness meditation, shadow work, they both work really well. If you want any recommendations, just drop me an email, get in touch, and I'll point you in the direction of meditations that I found to work personally and ones that have also worked for clients as well as me. Hope that you have an awesome rest of your day.